The next talk is publishing with Nazara. I'd like to call upon Shreyas Mohankumar to tell us more.
The mic is on. Hello. Hello. Can I get the volume up a bit? Hello? Okay, hi guys. Good morning everybody. My name is Shreyas Mohankumar. I am the publishing and distribution lead at Nazara. Just to give you a brief about, what we have in store today is Nazara Publishing India's gaming revolution. As a lot of you may have known that Nazara has stepped into the foray of publishing from last year IGDC where we announced. And I think that's what I'm going to talk about today. Before I get into the details of what Nazara is doing, I'll just like to give you a brief about myself. I have about 5 years of gaming experience in the industry as a working professional, but I have been a gamer since 2001. That's when I first got my gaming, the first PC at home, and I started playing, and I've never stopped since. I'm one of the few users who actually spends on games actually. Prior to joining Nazara, I was a product manager at Reliance Jio. I used to work on Jio Gaming, and I've successfully scaled a few products there. One of the key success being that I was the GTM lead for a product called Jio Games Watch, which was largely focused at gaming creators. I currently look to publish games from India to the globe and ensure that we can all grow together. Before we get into the Nazara market and what Nazara wants to do, I just want to give you a brief about how the economic conditions and the general market overview of how gaming looks globally. Because the idea today is not just to publish in India, but it is to publish outside of India and ensure that the game grows and ensure that we make a mark in the gaming industry today, that Indians can get, can make creative games, good games from India can actually go to the market and it can become popular. We have very few titles that have gone out of India, and we want to ensure that we can do more. So the general market overview states that the global gaming market is about 280-ish billion in 2023, and it is estimated to grow at about 13.4 CAGR. Ideally, the CAGR has not changed, but due to during the pandemic, we saw that there was a surge in gaming, and everybody was on their phones, everybody was stuck to their phones playing games day in, day out. There was a huge surge that we saw. It has plateaued out right now, but the interest that gaming has got for people in the world continues to stay so, and also encourages a lot of developers to get into the field and try their passion out. The consumer behavior, the average age of a mobile gaming individual globally is about 36 years. When we try to make games, I've also been on the game developer side briefly, and that we've noticed that whenever we've tried to make games, we always ensure we try to see that we want to target kids, we want to target, but largely if you prepare, if games are IP driven, the audience that you can target is a wide range and you can appeal to a lot of people. 32% of mobile games fall within the 25 to 34 category, that we also see the same trend in India as of today. Mobile game dominance. Now, slowly and steadily as technology, research and development has actually gone up, picked up pace, not only in India but outside, we see that everybody today would at least have a smartphone in their hand. There are very few people across the globe who tend to still use a button phone or what you would call as a candy phone. Ideally, this is because of how technology is advanced, and India is also in the forefront of this, where technology adoption in Indians is seen to be very high as compared to other countries, and mobile obviously dominates the Indian market. What is the market opportunity that the globe shows us? The idea is that if you have a gaming IP, there are two ways of having a gaming IP. One is either you take a very popular TV show, or you take a very popular cartoon, anime, create a game around it, you have an instant hit. Or you create a game that people like, that appeal to the masses, gets you 10, 20, 30, 50 million downloads, and that becomes an IP which then will be franchised. That's the market opportunity that the global market holds. This is again some brief about the global gaming market. Ideally in 2023, total number of gamers across the world is at about 3.2 billion. Even though you see that the projected growth is only at 6.5%, 3.4 billion is what it's going to reach. That's a huge number of people who will get into gaming. And that is the opportunity that we should ideally look at. The number of paying users is also going to increase by 10%. If today 1.85 billion people are paying, that is almost half of the gamers today that actually end up paying, and we are seeing a 10% increase. For the 6.5% growth, the number of people who will increase is higher. So that basically means that the purchasing, or what you call as a PPP index that a lot of people use, is going to increase. You'll also have to see that people will have more disposable income, and to create gaming as a lifestyle is something that we should look at. Gaming is still looked at entertainment. It should be a lifestyle choice that people make, through which we'll be able to get maybe higher amount of paying users. The total number of revenue is going to increase by 93%, but that also amounts to a lot of new innovation in ad tech that is happening, and how brands are also recognizing that gaming is a part in which they can reach out to their core audience. Now coming to the who. Who is Nazara publishing today? So just a brief, Nazara, we stand at the forefront of gaming in India. We offer unmatched expertise in the field of gaming. Nazara Technologies was founded in 1999, and today in India we are the only publicly listed gaming company that is there. We have deep insights into local and global markets. We have various studios that publish various games. I think there was a Nazara video that was being played earlier where we showcased Kidopia, which is an app that caters to young, toddlers. We have an app that is Animal Jam that caters to young kids and booming into teenagers. And we have an IP called WCC, which is World Cricket Championship, which spans across 3 versions, that has a large audience base in India. What is our value proposition? So the fundamental thing about us that sets us apart from a lot of publishers is that even though publishing is seen as a business, fundamentally at heart we are gamers. All of us in our team who constitute the publishing team play games as passion and not as part of our job, which actually sets us apart from other people because it gives us a wide opportunity to look at the game from multiple perspectives. One, as a consumer; second, as a business owner; and third, as part of the gaming industry in general. Here, we do localization. What we do is we just don't translate the game. There are a lot of games that are launched today that basically take the step of, say, when they want to come to India, and we've had conversations before, they just come and say, should we make the game in Hindi? That is not something that actually works in India. Fundamentally, making the game in Hindi would not make their game an instant hit. It ideally has to be a cultural fit. That is what we help in. We only team up with top tier partners. So that is something that we hold as a core value at Nazara, is that when the game developer partners with Nazara Publishing, we ensure that when we give them exposure outside into the market, it is only with top tier partners, and we don't compromise on the quality. Now the how we do it. So one is hyper-localization. Like I already mentioned, we don't look at language, which is something that people have a misconception about. When we speak to global developers, they do not understand the amount of languages that are there in India, the amount each language has in terms of dialects, where every 100 kilometers you find a different dialect of the same language. What we at Nazara do is that we take a game, and if we have to cater it to a specific audience, we ensure that it fits into the audience culturally and ensures that it resonates with them in that manner so that they don't feel alienated from the concept. We look at an India first approach. Now, Nazara being an Indian publisher today, we look at an India first approach, meaning that we want to ensure that Indian game developers get a name outside in the world. We want to take Indian games, publish them globally through various mediums, distribute them across the globe, localize using all the methodologies that we have here, using all our expertise, and ensure that there are good games that are shipped out of India. Tailored marketing. Once we are distributing, we are hyper-localizing all the content, we are looking at India as a market, we also have to ensure that the marketing is done properly. And we would definitely look at how we do it. is that in terms of marketing strategy, we would obviously do a general research of the area that we are going to market in, who we are marketing it to, why are we doing it, and what do we want to achieve with it. Those are the key principles through which we are actually doing marketing. The methodology is the quality and methodology of a service will define our value. That is a data-driven approach. Largely, whenever decisions are taken through data, it is usually correct, and we also want to ensure that our approach is all data-driven. We have something called as network effects. The moment you partner with Nazara Publishing, you are given direct access to all the networks that Nazara has. So today, Nazara being a very big company in India, we have forayed into media, we forayed into esports through Nodwin and Sportskeeda. We have events like Comic-Con, and we also have DreamHack. So these are the main key IPs that we hold, and all of these effects. So basically in any of these events, if a game is popular that you are partnered with, there would be opportunity where you could have this game published. Featuring and coverage, we have very strong connects within traditional media as well, where we would want to leverage that in terms of getting game your exposure. Community management. Community management is something that a lot of Indian developers in the past have always ignored. It's the fact that community is used as a very good gateway to feedback. When feedback actually comes from the community, it is considered to be part of what a consumer actually thinks and what a consumer actually wants. To also manage these expectations, you need a very strong team, and Nazara is willing to do that. Corporate governance. So ideally so a lot of developers today face issues with finances, taxation, when they publish outside of India and other markets, remittances and things like that. Nazara aims to solve that problem for all these developers once they partner with Nazara Publishing. We'll come to, I said what we do, but I didn't explain the why you want to do it. Largely because Nazara is a leader today in Indian gaming. So that becomes one of the strongest points for any developer, any Indian developer or foreign developer to be associated with us. The one key thing that we do, and we ensure that we do with almost all developers, and I can happily say that I have already interacted with a few developers from this very room who I have spoken to on calls in the last few months that I have been at Nazara to get their games on board, sign them up with me and take them globally live. So one thing that even out of experience that even they could share is that we always ensure on 3 key parameters, which is engagement, retention and monetization. Now engagement being the key feature in which we'll actually see how sticky is your game. And retention, we'll also ensure that how many people keep coming back, and we'll communicate it to you. Monetization, what better can be done in the game to ensure higher returns for the effort that you've put in. See, because the process that every developer today enjoys is the process of making the game. But a lot of developers stop this process once they are not able to reach any of these 3 metrics, because this is where the money is. If you partner with Nazara Publishing, ideally what I am trying to say is that all of these 3 parameters we will help you get. We will help you improve in your game. With your expertise of building the game and our expertise of market, we could achieve good things. This is again about what we do. There are 4 key things that we do at Nazara. One is we publish, second is we market, third is we distribute, fourth is we monetize. Now publish, ideally, traditionally a lot of developers don't get into a situation where they publish beyond the conventional markets of Google and Apple. We ensure that you are not only present on these 2 platforms, but you are present on any other platform that accepts your app and that has a good reach. So that has examples of, there are third-party stores like TapTap, Aptoid. We have an Indian app store which is Indus that is up and coming. So we would definitely take your app to the market and have it distributed there. Our marketing is deeply localized in terms of what we do. And we'll also partner with local influencers from, say, a certain region. Let's say your game is very famous in Brazil, we'll get the most famous influencer in Brazil to go vouch for your game. Have them play it on, say, their stream, video content, and things like that, and ensure that preview. Okay, so we'll largely try to ensure that your game is received well in the country that we are trying to look at. Monetization being a very key aspect, I understand we Indians usually, whenever we build games, and whenever games are largely built outside, we know that a lot of revenue, certain revenue actually comes from advertisement. That is what we aim to solve. As part of the publishing agreement that we have, and once you partner with Nazara, what we end up doing is we end up giving you access to a mediation layer. Now the mediation layer ensures and takes care of mediating with almost the top ad networks that are available to, or let me rephrase that, all the top ad networks that are available to the people today. Basically, App Login, Integral, there's Google Ads, there's Chartboost, Ad Colony, all of that. All of that gets integrated as single SDK, so it's less effort for the developer and more revenue in turn. These are the few success stories that we've had. We've had a very huge reach in terms of 100 million monthly users. We have IPs like DreamHack, Comic Con. We also have a reality gaming show called Playgrounds. We have an extensive portfolio where we have Sportskeeda and Kidopia as one of the biggest avenues, and we are a listed company. So what's next? I mean, other than what the basic features of, basic idea that we have, what we do at Nazara is we give a minimum guarantee. Now, here when the minimum guarantee is used, it is used with the perspective that when a game meets a certain criteria, once you approach us and you have a certain idea in mind and we all get on the same page, that's when we start deciding whether or not the game has a minimum guarantee criteria in it. But if the game does have it, then you definitely go ahead. We take care of the user acquisition, which in turn de-risks your cash flow. So the developer today once the developer is partnered with us, you don't actually have to worry about user acquisition, because my friend and colleague Shravan and his team actually help us out in acquiring users, do targeted campaigns during our initial testing phase, and also once we scale up the game, we ensure that the onus of marketing is on us, and the developer need not risk any cash flow in that. We're partnering in growth, so basically it's the same point that I mentioned earlier, that we have a very large network. Once you partner with us, you get access to this network. So I would like to conclude this entire bit by stating that there are a lot of publishers outside in the market today, but there are very few publishers who understand the problems of India. There are very few publishers who understand the mindset of an Indian developer and who is able to actually solve it. As you can rightly see on the board that says, if you're thinking of India, that is maybe publishing within India or taking games from India globally, you should think Nazara. And the QR code for the application form is actually on the presentation. You could please scan that and could have a look at the process there. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreyas. Shreyas, I think we just open out for some questions. Any questions, anybody? Before you go, I'd like to call upon Dr. K.K. Singh to hand over a small memento to you as a token of appreciation. Yeah.
No, I'll come down. Thank you. Thank you.